Hi, and welcome to my additional videos to help you in your copperplate calligraphy journey. This video is part of a series called Writing Copperplate in Real Time, where I'm writing a sentence for the very first time with you. My tools at the moment are a very dark walnut ink, an oblique pen holder, and a hand 101 steel nib. Whatever your tools are, they will work fine. So this is just an example of what I'm using. Also, I recommend that if you are a total beginner and you want to follow me using a pencil, it's also a very good idea because you're just going to get familiarized with the movements and the shape of the letter forms. At the moment, I'm using an horizontal guideline, and the size is 6 millimeters. I'm using a 2-unit ratio for the ascenders, 1 unit for the X height and 2 units for the descenders. Okay, let's start really slowly. So what I'm going to do now is what I always do, which is I'm gonna use blank paper. At the moment, I'm using marker paper, is 70 GSM, is quite thin, so you can see still the lines through quite clearly. I'm gonna attach the paper to the guideline, and then I'm gonna go a little bit closer so you see what I'm doing at the moment. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm doing is I'm gonna be marking the X height, so you see what I'm writing where. So it's a little bit more clear in case the lines are not very visible. At least 2 lines. Let's see what happens later. Okay. The next step is writing the quote just here for myself with a pencil so that I remember the quote and I try not to make spelling mistakes, which in my case is quite easy. All right. The quote for today is as it follows. Your body hears everything your mind says. Let's write it down. And this quote is by Naomi Judd. You can find the quote and the author of the quote on the description of this video in case you want to learn more about the author. Also, if you need materials or guidelines, you will have all the information on this video as well on the description on this video, and a link to my courses in case you want to learn more. What I'm doing here belongs to my level 2 course, where we already know the foundation of the alphabet, and now we are ready to start writing longer texts and to refine the letter forms we have already learned. Now, let's go. So, as I mentioned, I'm going with walnut ink today. I'm gonna start the quote with a capital Y. So I invite you to follow along and write with me at the same time. Something I always do as well is to place a paper underneath so that my hand is not in touch with the surface of the paper, so that in case I have some natural oils coming from my skin, I don't transfer them to the surface of the paper. All right, let's go slowly. So I'm gonna start with capital Y for your body. Okay. I have used this variation of Y, but of course you can use the variation you know or your favorite variation of capital Y because there are hundreds of them. Okay. After capital Y, let's go with the following. So starting with lowercase o. There are some letter forms like letter R and letter S. that are intricate to understand. And once you know and you understand the shape, you really want to have an R and an S as often as possible, because you know that this is what makes the writing even better, because it really elevates the look and feel because are really elegant shapes. All right, next word is body. So let's go up. Let's go down with the paper. All right, things that I have done in here. So you saw through the video that every time I have a novel letter form, I stop in the center of the X height, and then I go to the side and start the oval shape. So you had seen that I had stopped before the O, then before the D. So this will always happen every time I have ovals. Next word is here's. Let's keep on going. What I'm trying to do is, once I have the first ascender, I try to match as much as possible the other ascenders and descenders so that everything belongs to the same alphabet. This A is slightly wider than I would like to, but as I said in other videos, if you make a mistake or if you know that something is not looking as you would like, it does not matter. The point in here is you keep on writing, because there is always things that we will assess at the end, and you can rewrite it again, knowing what you are dealing with, as this is the first time I'm writing the sentence with you as well. Your body hears everything. So I'm gonna move the paper a little bit and write everything. Run out of ink is fine. I go back and I can fill the space. Not a big deal. And it's not a final of anything either. All right. Second half of the H. Your body hears everything. And now I'm going to the next line. And the next section of the quote says, your mind says. Let's leave a space. Next word. We need more ink. I did not stop early enough. So now let's go back. And says. Okay, excellent. Let's go back. Zoom out. All right. So this is the sentence or the quote we have written today. It is a very good practice because you only need maybe 15 minutes every day. And if you can really do that daily or nearly daily, you will see how your hand really improves because you start to acquire muscle memory. Okay, what can I say about this quote and what other things I would change for the next time? Well, in here, between my I and my N, I really had a lot of space that I didn't want to have so much, but it's just part of the practice and the exercise. So if I have to do this again, I will try to make the space smaller. In here, I have a big gap. So what do I want to do with this sentence? It's very different if you want to have like a portrait layout or a landscape layout, or you want to have something that it's going to be a square. In this case, this word is really long. So no matter if I leave it on the first line or on the second line, I'm going to have this break. So it's either going to be as it is now, or it's going to be shorter and then longer on the second line. If I want to add the name of the author, Naomi Judd, is a good opportunity to add it here if I want to sort of align both sides of the quote. I'm happy with the ascenders because ascenders and descenders look quite similar. I know my nib is quite old now, so it scratches a lot as I'm going around sometimes, but I really get attached to my nibs, so it takes a while for me to replace the nib. The ink works well. The pressure is quite consistent across the letter forms. I know my capital is always going to be thicker, and that's fine because I'm happy with that. You see there are different types of thickness across the capital as well, which is intentional. That's it. I think it works well. I mentioned in another video that I do practice meditation, and for me, this type of exercises and calligraphy in general is a way of meditating on the page where I'm fully present. If you don't know what to write, I also suggest you can download the app Insight Timer, and every day you will find a quote like this one that you can use for your regular practice. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you very much.